Maryknoll sister Maura Clark, Maryknoll sister Ida Ford, Ursuline sister Dorothy Kazel, and lay missioner Jean Donovan. The destinies of Maura Clark, Ida Ford, Dorothy Kazel, and Jean Donovan were joined together in just the last months of their lives. Maryknoll sister Maura Clark, Maryknoll sister Ida Ford, Ursuline sister Dorothy Kazel, and lay missioner Jean Donovan. The destinies of Maura Clark, Ida Ford, Dorothy Kazel, and Jean Donovan were joined together in just the last months of their lives. Murdered together by National Guardsmen in El Salvador on December 2, 1980, their deaths became martyrdom for the Church of the Poor in El Salvador and for thousands of Christians in the United States. All four of them worked with refugees in El Salvador, trying to improve the quality of life for the people in extremely difficult conditions. Ida was based in El Salvador. When her mission partner died in an accident, she looked for a new mission companion. Sister Maura Clark was in Nicaragua at the time and agreed to join Ida in El Salvador. The sisters had answered a call from Bishop Oscar Romero in El Salvador to help refugees on a temporary basis. He was murdered in March by Salvadoran government forces. On that fateful evening in December, Dorothy Kazel and Jean Donovan drove their van to the airport outside San Salvador to pick up Maryknoll sisters Clark and Ford, who were returning from a Maryknoll Regional Assembly in Nicaragua. After leaving the airport, their van was commandeered at a roadblock by members of El Salvador's National Guard. They were taken to an isolated location, abused, and shot, and then buried in a shallow grave along a roadside. In doing so, in becoming martyrs, which also means witnesses, their stories, their names recited together now as a litany, speak to us on the most profound levels of faith, the meaning of the Christian journey, the meaning of discipleship, cross, and resurrection. The murders of the Ford churchwomen is an annual reminder of the lawlessness and dangers of living and working in nations like El Salvador. The men who carried out the murders were tried, sentenced to prison, and released early. Their superiors have never been brought to justice. But the memories of Clark, Ford, Kazel, and Donovan, and their sacrifice has become a rallying call for those who suffer at the hands of United States allies.